Welcome to the webinar. We are going to give everybody just a few minutes and start it up here at 5 after the hour. All right. Well, I want to welcome everybody to our monthly webinar. This month, we'll be talking about bleeders. This is a health issue that if you've experienced it, it's not a fun one to experience. I myself, we've had a bleeder at our own house. My wife had a barrel horse that bled one time in her 5-year-old year running barrels, and it was like we've heard about it, and know people deal with this a lot, and to deal with it with your for yourself though, it was a totally different experience, and it was something that I was really glad to know the information that we offer here at Silver Lining, so that way we could address it immediately, not even become a big issue, and long story short, she had a full recovery and was super successful for a long time afterwards. So that's the information that we want to pass on to you is arm you with the information to uh, take care of your horses in a better way to when things come up, because we all know that things are going to come up. That's just inevitable when we own horses. So that's what we're here for, is to pass that information along for you, so that way you can take care of your horses, and when things do come up, handle them accordingly and expedite the healing process. So today we're diving into bleeders, and we're getting to the root cause of it, something that people don't talk about the root cause a lot. So let's learn about the truth about bleeders. So what is exercise-induced pulmonary hemorrhaging really is? So what it really is, and this diagram here really shows a good example of what it is. So, everybody knows that they're bleeding out of their nose and bleeding's happening in their lungs, but why is that bleeding really happening? Well, what's really happening is the capillaries, and a capillary is what connects the vein and the artery together, where that junction meets in the blood flow. That's supposed to expand and contract. And what happens to a horse that bleeds, it expands, bursts, and breaks, and then blood comes from that. And it can not, it doesn't always have to come out of the nose, but it does oftentimes. But it can lead to a lot of different issues. I can't imagine what those horses are feeling like when there's blood in their lungs. Like it's got to feel like a drowning type of feeling, and that's why horses will, you know, be alarmed, kind of freak out. They're coughing, trying to clear their airway out, and it can definitely result in a lot of performance issues. Um, Oh, most people know to use Lasix for this kind of issue, but it's really just a short-term Band-Aid for that. There's a lot of things the one thing that Lasix does good is it will stop the bleeding, right? But it does nothing to really help heal that vascular system, make those capillaries stronger, and really help that horse out long term. And inevitably, what starts to happen is we have to give more Lasix. Uh, over time. And then there's also the issues that come from LASIK, as renal issues, kidney issues, and also just the issues with dehydration. So if you're not 100% sure what Lasix is a medication given to horses that bleed, and it is a diuretic. So meaning that it eliminates the water out of the horse's body. So that's why the timing's crucial with giving Lasix, not allowing them to drink after giving Lasix, and they urinate a bunch and really just dehydrate their body. When this happens, the blood's thicker. So if the blood's thicker, it'll clot a lot easier. So when these capillaries expand, burst, and break, it clots their blood a lot faster. Sounds like a good solution, but it's just short term. So we have to do something that's more long term, more uh, healing for the horse to heal itself. Because the truth about it is horses want to heal themselves. We just have to give them the necessary tools in order to do that. I always like a good example is like if you cut your hand or a horse cuts their body in some place, like it's like automatically scabbing over, it's automatically trying to heal itself. And that's the same thing that the horse is doing. This is an internal wound, and the horse is trying to heal itself. What we just have to give it the nutrition in order to do that and give it adequate time to do that as well. There's some common myths about bleeding and performance horses. Uh, some I've talked to some people said like, hey, bleeders only happen in the racehorse world. That's inaccurate. Happens a lot in barrel racing and other type of events like that. They have to bleed out to be a bleeder. That's not true. They can bleed internally as well and just be in their lungs. So it's just important to know what bleeding is and if your horse could potentially be a bleeder. So what does a bleeder look like? So it can be the obvious signs like blood in the nostrils on the two outside pictures, but also that horse in the middle could definitely be a bleeder as well. Heads up, acting alert, alarmed. A lot of times these horses, after they get done with like a barrel run or a race, they'll put their head down and cough a handful of times. They're trying to clear that congestion out. You can also see a lot of different behavioral issues with them, like a barrel horse that's not rating, or all of a sudden was more of a push style horse and now is more like a free runner. Those are all different signs that would start to make me investigate whether a horse is a bleeder or not. So to get to the root of the issue, what we do here at Silver Lining Herbs is a product that we call No Lasix. And what I was talking about with the capillaries, how they expand and contract, is what they should be doing. And what we got to do is get that integrity back to them at the capillary level. And that's exactly what no Lasix does. We're trying to enhance the vascular system. So those under the elevated heart rate that those capillaries expand and contract, they should be elastic. It should be like a rubber band. Like think about like a brittle rubber band that sat on the dash of your pickup or in a windowsill or something like that we've all probably recognized over the years that starts to get brittle, dried out, and it's not very elastic. You pull on it a little bit, it breaks. That's the same thing that's going to happen to the capillaries in our body, in our horse's body, if they're depleted in certain nutrients over time. And so that's exactly what no Lasix gives back to the horse. They give back that elasticity to the capillary so they can expand and contract and support that vascular system. It's really not a bleeding issue, it's a vascularity elasticity issue that we really need to be helping out with. with that as well, we want to take care of any inflammation that might be there. Obviously, performance horses, when they're uh, excreting a lot of energy, inflammation is going to be in the body, and it's not just in the muscles, it's not just in the joints, but it's throughout the entire body. So we have to handle that as well. We also have to make sure that oxygen absorption's uh, proper in the body and we're having normal circulation. So all those things are considered in the no Lasix. And one thing when the founder of Silver Lining designed no Lasix, he took to the entire body into account. And he didn't just say like, hey, it's that one thing that we need to be focusing on, but it's a lot of different things that we need to be focusing on. And here are some key herbs here in the no Lasix that we wanted to highlight. So we have barberry in there that stimulates the circulatory system, helps improve the circulatory disorders, increases strength and elasticity in the blood vessels. We have capsicum, also known as cayenne. That's one of the greatest herbs for the circulatory system, and it expands those blood vessels to increase the blood flow. So if they're constricted for whatever reason, that's going to help increase the blood flow through those blood vessels. Eleuthero, that decreases stress. Sounds like a positive thing for performance horses, stimulates the immune system. And that's something to really understand with bleeders as well, is that the immune system's oftentimes is compromised. So it could just start with a lower immune system. Lower immune system causes a deficiency in the vascular system. And so we got to help support that. The also great thing about eleuthero is that it's an adaptogenic herb. Adaptogenic herbs are phenomenal. That's what they mean. What we mean by that is that we are supporting the body with these herbs, and the body uses those herbs exactly how the body needs to use them. Whether it's an excess, whether it's deficiency, it's going to find that balance. And a lot of our combinations, pretty much every single one of our combinations, will have some sort of adaptogenic herb in it. Yarrow is known to stop bleeding, so it is going to have those clotting capabilities in there. It's going to help with inflammation. It helps speed up healing and reduces pain for the horse. Panax noto ginseng. This is one of the key herbs in this combination to help stop bleeding. In fact, Vietnam soldiers in the Vietnam War used to carry a vial of this on them. So if they ever had a wound, a gunshot, a stabbing, anything like that, you can actually take that herb and apply it directly onto the wound and it'll stop that. Same thing happens when we take it internally. That really stops the bleeding there. So if you look at just some of these key herbs here that we highlighted, and this is only half of the herbs that are in the no Lasix, you're going to understand we're helping the circulatory system out, we're helping with pain, we're helping with stress, we're helping with the immune system, we're helping get congestion out with mullein, which is a great expectorant. So like any mucus or blood or infection that might be settling in the chest, it'll help expel that out of the body. That's super beneficial in these cases. And then we're stopping the bleeding. Some different results that our clients have seen. This first client here said, "My mare is a bleeder. I was very impressed. I was very impressed, one, with the shipping, and second, how my horse came out of the pen coughing, and it was at my house on Monday. By the product, but the product itself had worked wonders already. I ran the same large outdoor and even a bigger outdoor, just a week and a half of being on the product and no more coughing. She goes into the pens nicer and quieter. Her breathing also slows down quicker now too. She has had terrible reactions to actual Lasix, so this product has been a lifesaver. We'll forever keep her on it." So if you look at all the things that she highlighted there, we're identifying that cleared up congestion that's in her lungs. She's recovering faster. Her demeanor is better. And best of all, she's not bleeding. So fantastic. The next client says, "It has made a difference in my horse's demeanor. Her breathing is much more relaxed after a run." Well, she's got to be feeling better if she doesn't have that congestion, that blood in there, and able to actually absorb all that oxygen into her lungs. So that's wonderful to see there. The third one is I have a pretty bad bleeder and 3 weeks on no Lasix. And for the first time in forever, I didn't see any visible blood after her run. Wow. She is even calmer coming out of the pen. I'm very impressed. I'll continue to watch her, but so far, I'm sold. Thank you, Silver Lining Herbs. So all these things, all these clients are saying the same thing. Demeanor is better, horse isn't bleeding, they're performing better. And that's the same situation that I highlighted for our own horse at the beginning of this call. My wife ran this 5-year-old. It was in a sandy pen, standard pattern. It was in August. Her horse came out of the arena after running, put her head down, coughed, a little blood clink came out. And so what we did for her is right away got her on the no Lasix because we knew that was necessary for her, and also the immune support for her. And the reason why the immune system supports there is to enhance the immune system. So I think about the time of year that that horse was running. She was in her 5-year-old year, first time running for the year or for that season. And so she's had a lot of stress on her, been traveling places where she's never traveled before. August in Idaho is often high 90s, low 100-degree weather, deeper patterns. So she had a lot of stress on her. So we needed to get her immune system up. Then we needed to help her out with her vascular system, and that's what the no Lasix did for her. So what we did here is put her on the no Lasix and the immune support for 60 days. And then we reassessed her and seen how she was doing, because we want to give time for those capillaries to heal and get stronger. So what I always explain to people is, like, if you cut your hand, like typically a cut on your hand takes about 3 weeks to get pretty solid, and it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to be like unnoticeable anymore. So the same thing for these internal wounds that our horses are dealing with. We have to give them the time in order to recover from that. So for active bleeders, we suggest getting no Lasix along with immune support. 7 to 10 days, we'll see some results, like a lot of those client testimonies had right there, and then more significant results after the 30 to 45 days. So for our mare, we started exercising her again after 45 days, and then ran her again at 60 days, and she was doing great. Since she was doing great, just out of our own peace of mind, we did keep her on the immune support and then the no Lasix for another 60 days. And then we kind of went into the off season at that point. So we had turned her out for a few months in the winter, and then coming back the next year, we just had her on the immune support, kept her strong. So never had any bleeding with her ever since that one episode. But to understand how long to do that for your horse. So first time bleeder for our horse, we took care of it, responded very well, didn't have to worry about it anymore. But we want to keep her immune system strong. But like a general rule is, for every year that the horse have had an issue, it'll take a month to reverse it, and in a minimum of 3 months. So you can think of this as, like, as far as you walked into the woods, you got to walk back out of the woods. So if this horse has been dealing this for a year or two, we got to turn around and walk out of the woods and reverse the damage that's been done there. And it usually takes that 1 month for every year that the horse has had an issue, a minimum of 3 months. As a preventative, we believe in giving the immune support whenever their horse's immune system is compromised. So if you're traveling, you hear about some kind of sickness going around, if your horse is stressed, new horse on the property, anything that could compromise your horse's immune system, it's always really good to be on the immune support. And then you can use no Lasix daily as a preventative as well, and see the benefits that a lot of these clients showed in these examples today. Better demeanor, faster recovery, and just an overall healthier horse. So those are some really good ways to use the no Lasix and team it up with the immune support. So I want to answer any questions that you guys might have, and maybe a situation that you're currently dealing with or have dealt with, or a success story that you've had. This is something that we talk about on a regular basis. So if you guys do have any questions, you can raise your hand, put it in the chat, or unmute yourself, and I'll be happy to help you out with any questions that you might have pertaining to bleeders. While we're waiting for a couple questions, JC, I want to have you unmute yourself and just talk about some client experiences that you've dealt with yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Like I barrel race myself, and I have lots of friends that barrel race that have to use Lasix. And this product's amazing, because you don't have to use Lasix and have those side effects if you're on the no Lasix consistently. It's a safer product to use. It's effective, by strengthening those capillaries and making them more expandable. But even if you have like severe bleeders and you don't feel comfortable taking them off, no, or taking them off Lasix, it's also a very safe product to use together. So it's a great option.
Love it. Very good. Julie, you asked a question. So, what exactly makes a horse a bleeder other than a sickness that would obviously contribute? Can they just be genetically predisposed or other triggers? So, really, it's just a deficiency in their system. So, you think about horses and their diet that they have. Like, think about if we're feeding our horses alfalfa hay and whole oats, and is the majority of what they're eating. Or let's say we're feeding our horse Timothy hay and alfalfa and some oats or something like that. Their main calorie source, their main nutrition that they're receiving is off three plants, three types of vegetation, right? So then I always like to, in turn, then think about what if you only ate three different things every single day for your entire life? Do you think you'd have different excesses and deficiencies in your own body? Yes, of course. Like if I look over the past 30 days of everything that I've ate, and I eat pretty wholesome. Not always though. But I think about, okay, I had kale last night with some like blueberries, walnuts, grilled chicken. That was my dinner last night. For lunch yesterday, what did I have? I can't even remember what I had. Different things, like even in my like I have a smoothie every single morning. I have blueberries, spinach, protein, oats, and a banana. Like I for breakfast I have five different things I eat in every single day. Our horses don't get that. So it causes a lot of different deficiencies. So really what we're trying to do is give a variety of vegetation back to our horses, and it's really just a lot of times we're starving them right in front of our own eyes. Yeah, like, I got great second cutting alfalfa, or I got great second cutting orchard hay or something like that. But it takes more than just a couple different types of vegetation to get these horses feeling better. So imagine, us turning our horses out in a meadow that has been untouched for years, and think about all the different vegetation that's in that pasture. There's dandelion, there's burdock, there's thistle, there's plantain, there's ryegrass, there's timothy, there's orchard. Like there's all these different types of plants out there, and they're just eating on all those different plants in moderation all the single time. And that's really what Silver Lining's attempting to do by giving that variety of vegetation back to your horse in moderation to fulfill any deficiencies that they might have or eliminate any excesses that they might have. And that's where we can have them help them out the most. So is it genetic? Is it those types of things? Yeah, some of it could be genetic in certain types of horses. But I also think about too, like if the mother was deficient, they passed on those deficiencies to the foal too. Like the foal didn't start off 100%. Like they're a carbon copy of their mom. So if mom has something going on nutritionally, that was passed on to the foal, and then the foal depends on the vegetation that it eats on throughout its life. So we're constantly trying to recreate and supplement that back into their diet. We had a couple other questions. Amber asked, can this be used with Lasix? Yes, it can definitely be used with Lasix. So this is what I usually tell clients when they ask this question. Um, is depends on the situation, right? Like I get we're using these horses for performance. We're, entered at this rodeo or in this race or something like that. And, maybe the bleeding's not that bad, different things like that. Big believer in horse first for sure. But if we're going to an event and we want to use Lasix, can go ahead and use it alongside of it. The biggest thing is that we want to make sure we give that horse's capillaries time to heal and regenerate. That takes time, right? But we don't want to recreating the issue on a consistent basis. So if you decide to use Lasix, that will help out with that because it's not going to be causing them to bleed out and things like that. So it does help the horse in that regard. And then our end goal is to get off the Lasix. We want that horse to be healthy. Get off the no Lasix too. In all actuality, like you know, give back that fulfill that deficiency that occurred, and then pull back from that once it's fulfilled. And not to say that we don't need to go back to it from time to time when that deficiency might arise again, but you can definitely do that. Kathleen, do you want to unmute and let's talk through your situation here.
Okay.
So tell me what's going on, Kathleen. Thanks for coming to the call today.
I bought this gelding as a 3-year-old a year ago and moved it from the trainer over to another barn. The horse has been on pasture all his life, even as a foal, even when he was weaned. I've talked to the breeder. And then at the trainer, he was on a pasture also. But by the time he got to me, he was showing blood in his nose. Had it scoped. They found fungus in his nose from the ground, is what they told me. Did a 60-day treatment. We cleared it up, but now he's starting to bleed again, and it's a worse bleed now. And I just went to the University of Wisconsin yesterday, spent 8 hours there having him on a CT scan, and they can't come up with anything except maybe an environmental allergy to something. Now, he was moved from on pasture to a stall situation, so he's on shavings. He eats, they throw the hay on the ground, so he eats from the floor. We're going through brainstorming, trying to figure out what his problem is.
Well, I'm definitely glad that you brought that up. We can definitely help you out with that. So is the fungus no longer present currently?
As of yesterday, when they did the CT scan, they said no, it's no longer there.
Okay,
So the 60-day treatment did resolve that. Um, but my expectations were okay, then we won't bleed anymore, but he still does.
gotcha. Okay, perfect. So this is a great situation, a great example that we can use this product to help it out. So fungus was an issue, cleared that up. Horse is still bleeding because they still have a deficiency in the vascular system. So we got to fulfill that deficiency, and then no Lasix will help out with that. Immune system's compromised because he had a fungus. So we need to support the immune system with the immune support. And then if it's also potentially related to an allergy situation, in an allergy situation, the immune system has a compromise as well. So that's another sign that we need to use the immune system or immune support along with the no Lasix product. The other product I would look at using along with this, because it is potentially related to allergies, is our liver support. So the liver has to filter everything that goes in or on the body. The liver is responsible for the histamine production and the allergen response. So if it is something environmental or something like that, it means that his liver is being overworked, compromising his immune system and causing a deficiency in his vascular system. So if we use those three products in conjunction, we can fulfill those nutritional voids that he has, and have him in a lot better shape than he definitely is now. Because yeah, I empathize with you in that situation, because he's needing help, you're wanting to help, but not exactly knowing where to go. But from the information you gave me, I'd definitely be doing the no Lasix, the immune support, and the liver support.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Great. Yeah, Michaela, your question about whether your horse bleeds or not, you can definitely use this as a preventative. No harm in it at all. We have lots of different clients that are doing that all the time, so this would be a great preventative measure as well. Uh, Julie also asked if it's directly related. Would it, if it's directly related, would it be best to feed no lasix permanently? So we believe in giving them what they need when they need it. So there's some horses that might need it for a season of their life. Some might need it for longer than that. It's really just, I'm always trying to get feedback from my horses and figure out what they need and when they need it. So I'm looking for little signs. Like I might be looking, like last night, my daughter was riding her horse and he coughed in the arena when she was warming him up. Like instantly I knew like he needs immune support. Just a slight cough like that when you're warming up, their immune system's compromised. So that's that sign to me that to get on the immune support. Um, if I see them, their stool will change a little bit. I'm asking literally right away why that is, and diving into it. So that's a great thing about Silver Lining here, and one of the things that we have is a team of individuals that can answer those questions for us. And so we have a great team of nutritional advisors, and you're able to book time with them at any time. They're always here to help you out, to figure out those nuances of your horses. They deal with hundreds of clients on a daily basis, trying to figure out what's the right product for the right issue. And I always urge everybody to utilize our team, because when we're trying to figure this out ourselves, like for me in my situation with our mare that bled, thankfully I'm involved in Silver Lining and I had that information in order to figure out what to do for our mare. But if I wasn't in that environment, I wouldn't know what to do. I would have been asking my friend, my wife would have been asking her friend, we would have called the vet, like we would have been doing all these things, but instead we had the information that we needed to help that mare out. And so that's what these individuals are here to do for you. They work with clients all the time. They know exactly what the right protocol is for the right issues. So when they suggest a protocol to you for your horse, they're not just trying to, guess or anything like that. Like they know, like they've seen the results on the backside of it. So, where the conversation just had, where it was three different products, like I'm not just trying to sell you three products. Like I know those are the three products that's going to help the integrity of your horse. And could you get it done with one? Well, you're going to help your horse with one. But if you want to totally get through it, expedite the healing process, give back your horse what he's pleading for, what he'd naturally go out there and graze on, those are the elements that he would go out there and seek, because they have an intuition that's different than ours. They really hone in on that. And that's what this team does. They look at your horse's health through the eyes of your horse, and not worried about symptoms. They're worried about the root cause of it. They're going to ask you different questions to understand the why of this is happening, to understand why your horse is bleeding, why your horse is lame, like why is their stool loose, and have that conversation to empower you to give your horse what they need. And so you can call our 800 number at 866-543-6956 and ask them any of those questions. They're available through chat on the website, or they follow up with everybody as well to ensure that their horses are getting the care that they need post-purchase as well. So we never leave you high and dry here. We are true advocates for the horse. Our mission statement is we deliver natural health products and education that helps people provide optimal care for themselves and their animals. So health is a ongoing thing. It never stops. We have to keep giving our horses back, giving ourselves back what we need on a consistent basis. So take advantage of our nutritional advisors to have them help you expedite the healing process and realize what can really be accomplished with your horse. We have stories all the time that say like, man, my horse is better than he's ever been, and I've owned him for 10 years. Like, people didn't even understand the potential of their horses, and that's the power of giving our horses what they need when they need it. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And if you guys ever have any questions, definitely let us know. We're always here to help you out, and um, look forward to having you guys at the next webinar. So thank you so much.